Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is another Battleforge or Skylords Reborn video, and it has been one that is requested for quite a long time. I'm not sure how long, maybe a few months ago, even up to a year. And this video is really about what card combinations are there in Skylords Reborn that you can use that synergizes very well. Maybe between two cards, mostly two cards, but I have some that can be up to 3 or 4 cards. And for today's video, I'll be just showcasing 10 of these such cards, and I think most of it is very well known. For some might not be as well known. Alright, so without further ado, let's get straight into our very first card combination, and this is one that you see very often when you start off a RPVE battle, which is Forsakens, accompanied with the Soul Splicer, right? It's very good because never an enemy unit come and attack you, and let's see, you have some corps already available here, right? And then your Forsakens will be healed on the spot. So it's really very useful with these Soul Splicer, especially if you have the upgrade one, which you have this Soul Suction, which you can gather up cords from a radius way beyond the Soul Splicer. Right, and that's the first card combination. The second one will be a very common Furnace of Flesh with the Cultist Master, right? Usually for what I do is I have 2 to 3 Cultist Masters and summon all these Nightcrawlers. Of course, upgrade 3 is the best for Cultist Master because it costs in 3 Nightcrawlers instead of, I think, 2, if I'm not wrong. 2 Nightcrawlers, no, one Nightcrawler for unupgraded or upgrade 1, while upgrade 2 you have 2 and upgrade 3 you have 3 Nightcrawlers. So yes, recommend 3rd upgrade for Cultist Master. Right, the next one, very well known, another shadow combination would be the Embalmer Shrine and the Shadow Phoenix. Alright, for now I will show you the Shadow Phoenix without the Embalmer Shrine ability. It's quite difficult to have the Shadow Phoenix to revive because if you look over here, the Crash Dive, it only deals up to 550 damage up to 2200, which is cutting it close to the cost required to collect 2000 life points. Means that yes, very difficult to get your Shadow Phoenixes to revive. And if you do not know yet, if you were to see the Shadow Phoenix that have not been Crash Dive versus the one that has been Crash Dive, you can notice over at the top right, there's no power because it has been already reincarnated, and the 100 power that is used for this Shadow Phoenix has been returned to the Void Power Pool. So yes, that is how you can differentiate the Shadow Phoenix that you have not Crash Dive versus the one that has been reincarnated already. Right, and we got these 3 Shadow Phoenixes, and oh wait, let me just redo it. Just now we have 2, right? So let's trigger the Embalmer Shrine and have 3 of these Twilight Fighters, Twilight Cross. My Shadow Phoenixes would both be reincarnated because of this Embalmer Shrine. 220% more corpse gathered. Yeah, so basically what the Embalmer Shrine does is 220% more life points, and basically this 720 is multiplied by 3, which very easily hits the target to revive your Shadow Phoenixes, which just requires 2000 life points. Alright, the next one is the Enlightenment accompanied with the Batariel, and this is a very old trick. Nothing much to say about this. This is the 4th card combination, and the 5th one is Soulshatter with Infect. So how this works is that you auto spawn the Nightcrawlers, as you can see over here. Very effective. And which brings me to the next point, as this is something called the Infected Tower. However, this you can accompany Soulshatter with Infect to get all these Nightcrawlers, or you can do the Cultist Master method as usual. So what this gives you is that whenever the Nightcrawlers die, as you can see, you can't kill off your units. When the Nightcrawlers die, you spawn these Twilight Pairs, and the really good thing about these Twilight Pairs is that there's no time limitation. It won't die off until it is killed completely. So sometimes people use this infected tower and spawn many Twilight Pairs. I'm not sure what is the limit, but I don't think there is currently a limit to how many pairs you can spawn. I think the limit will be how much Twilight Pairs you are able to accommodate on your laptop or PC before it crashes. Yes, and that is the 6 and 7 combination. Alright, the 8th one is any tower or building accompanied with the Skyelf Sage. Of course, you can use the other 2 Skyelf like the Skyelf Templar and the Skyelf Commander, but Skyelf Sage is the most helpful one because it helps your tower to deal a lot more damage, 110%, which means it's a ×2 damage for your towers. So my Worldbreaker gun, 1000 damage, 1.05, now it can deal 2.1k or slightly more than that because of the 110%. Yeah, so what use case is very good for this is Combat Catcher, of course, because yes, similar to the Worldbreaker gun's bombardment mode, which deals an insane amount of damage. Alright, the 8th one is the Rioter's Retreat. The green affinity, this must be noted, the green one with Commandos or any bandit units, but Commandos is even better. The reason why is you can use this ability, which is the Concentrate, and why it combos well with the Rioter's Retreat is that any bandit unit near close to these green affinities Riot Retreat will generate 70 life points per second, which is really an insane amount. And of course the Commandos, this Concentrate ability gives them a 60% damage that will be given to their life points. And of course, if depending on your affinity, for the purple one, if it's against humans, you deal more damage, which means that I would say your Commandos are pretty invincible unless it is against a high tier unit like the Construct, which might one hit the Commandos. Yep. So that's the only use case where this combination won't be effective. But as you can see, the regeneration rate is very high. Alright, our last one is the most complicated one and the most fun one as well, although it's not as practical. Yes, the last one would be any legendary units that you want. Usually in the game you can only summon one legendary unit, but for this method you can summon more than one. And what you do is that you make sure you have a blue affinity Promise of Life, and what this does is that when the unit dies, only after 15 seconds that you resurrect, and you have a certain time frame where you can summon another legendary unit. So there's a couple ways you can do this. First is you can have a Dreadcharger, and the Reaping ability allows you to kill off your unit. Yep, and then the 15 seconds time starts and you have to quickly summon another same legendary unit. That's the one of the first method, and the second method is you can use Nasty Surprise. Right, Nasty Surprise, Promise of Life, Nasty Surprise, and it works perfectly as well. Yep, so the maximum you can obtain is 2 legendary units because of this immunity to revive, which means you can't cast another Promise of Life on it. Yes, and this is the 10 card combinations, and of course there are more. And if this video is high on demand, I will create another list of card combinations for Skylords Reborn. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys again soon.